Imagine for a second that you could sit down across from Bruce Lee right now. No cameras, no martial arts, just you and him. You ask him about the stress, the pressure, and the feeling that you're stuck in a life that isn't really yours. He doesn't give you a fancy speech. He looks you right in the eye, leans in, and says something that completely dismantles everything you thought you knew about success. You might think you know who Bruce Lee was, the fighter, the star, the icon. But the person he actually was, the person hidden behind the legend, that version of Bruce is someone who would have been horrified by how we're living our lives today. And what he'd tell you to fix it. It's not just advice, it's a blueprint that could turn your entire year around if you're brave enough to listen. Let's be honest, if Bruce Lee walked into a room today, he wouldn't be impressed by our followers, our status, or our hustle culture. He'd probably laugh at the way we're obsessed with looking successful while feeling hollow on the inside. You see, the modern world is designed to make you rigid. We're taught to stick to a plan, stay in our lane, and follow the script. But Bruce, he would have looked at that and called it a prison. He spent his entire life fighting against people who told him who he could be. He was told he was too Chinese for Hollywood, too non-traditional for the martial arts world, and too rebellious for the status quo. Most people would have folded under that kind of pressure. They would have softened their edges just to fit in. But Bruce didn't fit in. He decided he was going to create his own shape. Think about the sheer weight of what he had to endure. He was constantly fighting to be seen, to be heard, and to be respected. Every single day, he was up against a world that wanted him to be a caricature. He didn't just survive that, he used it. He turned every rejection, every doubt, and every ounce of prejudice into raw energy. And that's the first thing he would tell you. Your obstacles aren't there to stop you. They're there to test you. If you're currently dealing with a boss who doesn't see your value, or a career path that feels like a dead end, he'd tell you that you're looking at it from the wrong angle. You're trying to fit into the box, when you should be building your own. Now, here's where the middle of this story takes a turn you won't expect. We often think of Bruce as this peak physical specimen, but he was actually a man who was plagued by chronic pain and self-doubt. He wasn't some superhuman robot, he was a human who was obsessed with becoming. He famously said that the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. But how many of us are actually doing that? We're so busy managing our anxieties and scrolling through the lives of other people that we've forgotten how to be the main character in our own. Bruce would have looked at your phone, looked at your screen time, and asked you a simple question: are you observing life, or are you living it? He was a master of what he called the art of expressing the human body. But that wasn't just about fighting. It was about honesty. He believed that most of us are wearing a mask, pretending to be someone we think the world wants to see. And because of that mask, we're suffocating. When he talked about being like water, he wasn't just talking about combat. He was talking about the necessity of being adaptable in a world that wants you to be brittle. When the world tries to break you, you don't fight it head-on like a tree that snaps in the wind. You flow around it, you find the path of least resistance, and then, you take the opportunity to grow. This leads us to a shocking discovery that changed the way his closest students viewed the world. Everyone thinks Bruce's philosophy was about winning. It wasn't. It was about losing. Losing the ego, losing the need for validation, and losing the fear of what other people think. He believed that the moment you stop caring about the outcome and start focusing purely on the process, that's when you become dangerous. That's when you become unstoppable. If he were here, he wouldn't tell you to set bigger goals. He'd tell you to be more honest about your daily actions. Are you doing the work because you love the craft, or because you want the applause? Think about your deepest fear right now. The thing that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. Bruce would tell you that the reason you're afraid isn't because the outcome is uncertain. It's because you're afraid of finding out who you really are on the other side of that fear. We play small because we're afraid of the light. We're afraid that if we really step up, if we really commit, we'll realize how much potential we've been wasting. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? That the only thing standing between you and the person you want to be is your own refusal to take the leap. He was constantly re-evaluating his own life. He kept a personal journal where he'd write down his goals, not for the next year, but for the next decade. He was thinking about legacy, about contribution, and about truth. He would tell you that you don't need a massive platform or $1 million to start leaving a legacy. You do it by being authentic to your own values today. If you're a parent, be the most present parent you can be. If you're an artist, make the work that scares you. If you're a leader, serve your team with absolute integrity. That's how you change the world. You change the world by refusing to be a part of the problem. And let's go even deeper. One of the reasons Bruce Lee is still relevant today, even more than when he was alive, is that he was a bridge between two worlds, the East and the West, the physical and the philosophical. He saw the potential in everything. He took the best from Western boxing, the best from Eastern philosophy, the best from modern psychology, and he mashed them together to create something entirely new. He'd tell you that your own life is a similar hybrid. You have experiences, skills, and perspectives that no one else has. You are a unique cocktail of reality. But are you owning it, or are you trying to dilute it to make it easier for other people to digest? He would push you to challenge your own definitions. Why do you do what you do? Is it because you chose it, or because you were told to? He was a man who lived by the motto, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. That's the gap that kills most people's dreams. It's the gap between knowing what you should do and actually pulling the trigger. Bruce would look at you and say, stop studying the map. Start walking the terrain. This is where the climax of his message hits home. It's about the concept of emptiness. He used to say, empty your cup. Because if your cup is already full of opinions, fears, and past failures, there's no room for anything new. You have to be willing to be a beginner again, even if you're already an expert. You have to be willing to tear down the house to build a palace. Are you willing to be empty? Are you willing to let go of the identity you've spent so many years building, just so you can become something greater? It's painful to let go of that you've always known. But it's the only way to reach that you're capable of becoming. Consider the reality of your own potential. Bruce often spoke about the self-actualization process. He believed that the human spirit is designed to expand, not to stagnate. Yet, look at how we structure our lives. We prioritize comfort over growth, stability over discovery. We seek the safety of the known, while the real magic is always found in the unknown. Bruce would argue that your biggest enemy isn't the competition, it's your own habit of playing it safe. He'd tell you that every single day you spend in a state of comfort, you're slowly dying. That sounds harsh, but think about it. If you aren't evolving, if you aren't testing your limits, then what are you actually doing with this life? He also valued the concept of simplicity. In an age of information overload, where we have 1,000 apps, 100 notifications, and 1,000,000 opinions in our ears, Bruce would tell you to cut the noise. He simplified his fighting style to only what worked. He simplified his life to what mattered. Can you do the same? What can you prune from your daily routine that is keeping you from your highest potential? He would challenge you to be ruthless with your focus. If it doesn't feed your soul, if it doesn't move the needle, if it doesn't help you become the person you're meant to be, cut it out. No questions asked. He lived by a code of constant, radical self-honesty. He believed that you could lie to everyone else in the world. You could wear the best clothes, talk the best game, and put on the best performance, but the one person you could never deceive was the person staring back at you in the mirror. And Bruce lived his life as if he had to account for every single action. He held himself to an incredibly high standard. If he had a goal, he didn't just wish for it. He mapped it out, he practiced it, he embodied it. He didn't just want to do greatness, he wanted to be greatness. Can you imagine the power you would have if you actually lived with that level of integrity? But let's talk about the emotional struggle. He didn't just overcome the external world, he overcame his own internal chemistry. When he was furious, he didn't suppress it, he redirected it. When he was heartbroken, he didn't wallow in it, he channeled it. That's the key to emotional intelligence that so many people miss. It's not about not having negative emotions, it's about not letting them sit in the driver's seat. He would look at your frustrations, the ones you deal with at work, in your relationships, in your own head, and he'd tell you that you're misusing your resources. Your frustration is energy, your anger is energy, your sadness is energy. The only question is, are you using that energy to build, or are you using it to burn yourself down? There was a profound sense of playfulness in his approach to life that often gets overlooked. He loved to joke, he loved to dance, and he loved to experiment. He knew that if you take life too seriously, you'll never be able to move with the speed of thought. He'd tell you to loosen up. Stop being so focused on getting it right, that you lose the ability to have fun with the process. Life is a game, and the only way to play a game well is to understand the rules and then find the gaps where you can excel. As we reach the final seconds here, I want you to remember something. Bruce Lee wasn't a god. He was a guy who decided, at a very young age, that he wasn't going to live a mediocre life. And he held himself to that standard every single day, through failure, through injury, and through constant rejection. If he were alive today, he wouldn't want you to worship him. He would want you to surpass him. He would want you to take the tools he left behind, the discipline, the philosophy, the relentless hunger for truth, and use them to solve the problems that the world is facing right now. He would tell you that the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more people who are brave enough to stand in their own truth. It needs more people who are willing to be water, who are willing to flow, and who are willing to change. He'd tell you that your time is short, and that life is a precious, fragile, incredible opportunity to express yourself fully. So, what are you waiting for? Why are you holding back? Are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment, or are you going to create it? The advice he'd give you isn't hidden. It's not a secret code. It's just the courage to look in the mirror and be completely honest about what you see. Take that courage, take that honesty, and go build the life you know you're meant for. Because if there's one thing Bruce Lee's life taught us, it's that the only limits that really exist are the ones we put on ourselves. And once you take those limits off, the sky isn't even the beginning. So, what's your next move? Because the world is watching, and more importantly, you're watching. Don't let yourself down today. The real journey starts the second you decide to be who you are, without apology. Stay empty, stay hungry, and for heaven's sake, keep moving. Because you, my friend, have everything you need to become a legend in your own right. Are you ready? Because I think you are. Go out there and leave your mark on the world, because the world is waiting for exactly what you have to offer. Keep pushing, keep growing, and never, ever lose that spark of curiosity that makes you who you are. This is only the beginning of your story. Write it well.